Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna start today just laying on our backs with our soles of our feet together and our knees bent and splayed out. And your arms can just be by your side here. And just start to tune into the breath. Bringing some attention to the rise and fall of your chest and belly as you breathe. And start to move your breath around through your nose if you haven't already. Lengthening out the inhales in and the exhales out. Just let go of any distractions from the day as you breathe here. Just coming into this space and this here and now. Let's do one last deep inhale in through the nose. And this time through the mouth, let it all go. And go ahead and flutter your eyes back open here. Bring your knees back together. And then we're going to pull both knees into our chest, giving yourself a nice hug here. And now we're going to stack our right knee on top of our left. And then grab the outsides of both feet with your hands and pull your feet in towards your hips here, letting the low back sort of slowly roll back down onto the mat. Pulling in those feet nice and close, getting some nice stretches on the outsides of the hips here. And go ahead and release the feet, and then we're going to stack the left knee on top of the right. Roll up the spine, grab the outsides of the feet with the hands, and then slowly start to roll back down the spine. Pulling those feet in towards the hips. Keep breathing in nice and deep through the nose as you do this. One last deep inhale in on this side. And we'll go ahead and release. Pull both knees into the chest here. And then let's let the left leg go long and keep the right leg pulled into the chest. And let's have our hands around the shin here. You can interlace your fingers or not, it's up to you. We're going to keep the left leg nice and engaged and pull that right knee in towards your chest as far as you can. We're going to do some ankle cars here. So we're going to start by lifting those right toes up towards the right shin as far as you can. And then roll them to the outside of the mat as much as you can. Point the toes down towards the bottom of the mat. Roll them to the inside. Back up towards your shin. To the outside. Down towards the bottom of the mat. Back to the inside. And then back up towards your shin. Keep that left leg engaged here. We're going to switch directions. So point the toes to the inside, down towards the bottom of the mat, to the outside, pull them up towards your shin, back to the inside, down towards the bottom of the mat, to the outside, and then back up towards your shin. Let's move our hands now behind our thigh here. We're gonna engage our knee into this. So we're just gonna do some rolls back and forth here. So pull the pull the knee in towards the chest, and we're gonna roll the toes to the inside and try to roll the shin in as well, keeping the thigh nice and still. And we'll hold with it rolling in for 3, 2, 1. And now roll the toes to the outside and try to roll the shin out as well. Holding for 3, 2, 1. One more time, rolling to the inside, trying to keep that thigh nice and still, but rolling that shin if you can here. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. And then roll back to the outside. Holding it for 3, 2, 1. And then go ahead and release that right leg long. Pull the left knee into the chest, grabbing around the front of the shin here. Take a moment to reposition and then engage the right leg, drawing the right toes back towards your right shin. And then we're going to start on the left side here with the ankle, trying to keep the shin and the thigh still here. So we're trying to move just the ankle and bring the toes back up towards the left shin. Toes to the outside. Point the toes down to the bottom of the mat, to the inside. Pull them back up towards your shin, to the outside. Point them down to the bottom of the mat, back to the inside, and then up towards the shin. And then switching directions, make sure that right leg's engaged still. Go back to the inside. Point the toes down. Point the toes to the outside. Draw the toes up towards your shin. Back to the inside. Down towards the bottom of the mat. Back to the outside. And then back up towards your shin. Move the position of the hands here so that the hands come behind the thigh. And we're going to activate the shin in this time as well. So we're going to roll the toes to the inside and try to roll the shin in as much as you can. It's a pretty subtle movement, so if it doesn't move much more than just the ankle, that's fine. And we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Shin goes to the outside as the toes go to the outside as well. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1. Toes come back to the inside. Rolling that shin to the inside. Keep that right leg engaged and pressing into the floor. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Roll those toes back out to the outside. And that shin, holding it there for 3, 2, 1. And then let the left leg go long. Pulling the right knee back in towards your chest. And this time you're going to grab the outside of your right knee with your left hand. You're going to roll off onto the left hip, bringing the right leg across the body. And you're going to keep that left hand on the outside of the hip and roll enough over so that like the full knee is on the mat if you can. So you can bring your right arm up to your hip if you want. Or you can have it kind of hanging behind you, or you can just have it resting on your right hip. And try to have that left leg nice and long underneath you. Yeah, that looks good, nice. So we're just gonna hold in the twist for a second here to kind of warm up. And then we're gonna move into some pails and rails in this position. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And a breath out. So you're going to try to keep that right knee where it's at and use your left hand to help here. And we're going to start by pressing that right knee into the floor and the inside of the right foot into the floor. We'll start at like a 50% effort or so. And if it helps here, if you want to actually like bring that right, let's see here, take a better position here. Pausing for a second. Bring the left arm out long. kind of out perpendicular in front of you, and then bring the right hand. Actually, here we go. Make a pillow with the left arm. And then bring that right hand on the outside of the right leg. So let's start to press in again here. Sorry for the little pause. Starting at a 50% effort, 60, and then hold at a 70% effort for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now start to press or try to lift that hand up, but keep that right hand where it's at. So you're activating the outside of the leg, but you're not really lifting the knee up. Keep that right hand down on it and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now press the inside of that right knee and the inside of the right foot into the floor. Going at about a 70% effort, 80%, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try to lift that knee up, but keep pressing that right hand into the right leg. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. This time go with all your effort, pressing that right leg into the floor. And hold it for 5, 4, really press in, 3, 2, 1. And now keep that right hand pressing into the right leg as you try to lift it off the ground. And really press up into your hand, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Roll back onto your back. Pull both knees into the chest. And then let the right leg go long, grabbing the outside of that left knee with your right hand. Roll all the way up onto that right hip so that your hips are stacked and that left leg is touching the ground. Make a pillow with your right arm underneath you. Sorry, my headphone fell out. And then let's take the left hand on top of the outside of that left thigh. So to engage everything here, the core is kind of key on this one. So start to press your left leg into the mat or floor next to you, starting at about a 50% effort or so. Pressing in, maybe ramping up to 60, 70% effort, and hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With that left hand, press into the left leg as you start to try to lift the left leg up. So you're trying to keep the left leg down on the floor with your hand, but press up, trying to lift it up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press that left knee and inner left foot into the floor. Maybe starting at your 70% effort this time, pressing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the leg up, pressing the left hand into the left leg. Trying to keep that locked into the floor there, but make that effort to press up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing that left knee, the inside of that left knee and left foot into the floor. Starting at your maximum effort this time. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then keeping that left hand pressing into the outside of the foot, try to lift that foot up or knee up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then release. Let's roll back onto our backs here. Pull both knees into the chest. And maybe make a few little circles on the low back here. Switching directions. And now we're going to let the left leg go long, keeping the right knee bent. And then have it bent at about a 90-degree angle. And have it coming straight up from your hip. So you've got about, just kind of a 90-degree going on here, sole of the foot facing the bottom of the mat. And now roll up onto your spine and grab the outside of the foot on the bottom side of the foot with your left hand and start to pull it in towards your chest, trying to keep that 90-degree angle with the leg here. And now take your right hand and place it on the inside of the right knee and push out as far as you can go. And so from here, we're going to do some pails and rails with the knee into the hand. So let's take an inhale in to engage everything and start by pressing the right knee into the right hand, keeping that right arm where it's at and as straight as it was. Starting at about a 50% effort, 60, hold it for 3, 2, 1. Now keep that right hand where it's at and try to draw the right knee away from the right hand. Nice work. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Place the right knee back on the right hand and press the right knee into the hand. Holding it here for 5, 4. Really press in, keep those left toes engaged. 3, 2, 1. Pull the right knee away from the right hand and then hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Let that right leg go long. Pull the left knee in at a 90-degree angle here. Sole of the foot facing the bottom of the floor. So we're switching sides, so go ahead and roll up your torso, grab the bottom of the foot and the outside edge of your left foot with your right hand. Pulling that foot in towards the inside here, kind of like you're kicking a hacky sack or something. And then take the left hand and place it on the inside of the left thigh, starting to push that left knee away as far as you can. Your left arm doesn't have to go straight, but just kind of as straight as it can here. Make an adjustment here with your right leg so that it's nice and straight, coming out to the bottom of the mat, right toes engaging towards the right knee. And we're going to start by taking an inhale in. And exhale, start to press the left knee into the left hand, keeping the left hand and arm where they're at. Pressing in at about a 60% effort and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep the left hand where it's at and pull the left knee away from the hand as much as you can, or just make the effort to pull it away, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the left knee back on the left hand and press in, this time with a 70-80% effort to start here. Really pressing in, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that left knee away as much as you can, making all that effort to pull it away as far away from the hand, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Let both legs long, maybe like shake out the legs a little bit, bend the knees. And then we're gonna roll onto our bellies and press our way up. Actually, let's start on our bellies here. I like that idea. So we're gonna come to our bellies. Then we're gonna bring the right leg out next to us here. So the knee will be at a 90-degree angle, and the top of the right leg will be coming just out of perpendicular to the body. And then you can make a little pillow with your left arm. And so from here, just make sure that we're pressing through the top of the left foot. The left leg is long down the mat here. And we're going to start by pressing the inside of the right knee into the mat, inside of the right foot into the mat, kind of like we were before with our hand, but now we're just going to use the floor to be activating against this. So hold it here for 5, 4, really pressing into the floor. 3, 2, 1. And now we're gonna lift that right knee and that right foot off the floor if you can. And if not, just make that effort too and hold it there for 5, 4. Keep those right toes drawing back towards the shin. 2, 1. Knee comes down, foot comes down. Press the inside of the right knee in, inside of the right foot in. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the right knee up, right leg or right foot up. Holding it for 5, 4. Lift it up as high as you can. 3, 2, 1. Knee comes back down, inside of the foot comes back down. One more time, pressing in. Really press in with like 100% of your effort here. Try to keep the rest of the body engaged. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the right knee, right foot up as much as you can here. Holding it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that right leg long behind you. Switching sides. Bringing the left thigh out perpendicular to the torso. Left knee is bent at an angle here. And we'll do it on this side. So you can make a little pillow with your right arm, placing the side of the head on there or the forehead, whichever feels more comfortable. We're going to start by slowly placing some pressure on the inside of the knee and foot into the ground. Ramping that pressure up, keeping everything else engaged. Once you hit about 60, 70% effort, we're going to hold, pressing the inside of the knee down. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lift the left leg up, left knee up, and hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inside of the knee and foot come back down, pressing in. Maybe starting at 60, 70% effort this time, ramping up to 80, 90, a little bit more. Pressing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lift the left knee, left foot off of the mat, or make that effort to lift it up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time on this side, we're going to press the inside of the knee in, inside of the foot in. Really pressing in. 100% effort this time. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time lifting up, lifting that leg up. Knee off the floor, foot off the floor if that's available. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release the leg back long behind you. We're going to stay on our bellies here. And you can just kind of stack your hands or forearms and put your forehead on your hands, back of your hands here. And if you want to look up for just a second to see what we're going to do, we'll do that first. So we're going to bend one knee in at a time here. And then basically what we're going to do is similar sort of pails and rails stuff that we've been doing, but keep that heel as close into the glute as you can. And then we're going to lift the knee up and then press the knee in, the full top of the thigh. So lifting up and then pressing in. But just be a little bit cognizant on this one if you've got like any low back issues or anything like that. If you feel any twinging or anything like that, just come out of it and just do as far as you can. But this is a little bit more intense on the low back here, so just a heads up on that. We'll give it a shot here. So both legs are long behind you. Forehead is stacked here. Or sorry, forehead is on top of your stacked hands. And then we'll bend the right knee so that the right heel comes towards the right glute. Let's keep those right toes nice and engaged and have them drawing up towards the right shin. And we'll start just by doing a slow lift up here. So as you're doing this, lifting the right knee off of the floor here, make sure you're pressing through the top of the left foot, the top of the left thigh, and trying to press the hips into the floor. The hips are going to want to kind of come up too, but try to keep the hips into the floor here. And then let it back down. And so now we'll make it a little bit more pails and railsy. So we'll start by pressing. So first, let's draw that heel back in as far as you can. And we'll start by pressing the top of the right thigh and knee into the floor. You know, about a 40, 50% effort to start, ramping to 60, 70, and hold for 3, 2, 1. And now press through the left foot and left thigh and lift the right knee up off of the mat and the right thigh off the mat. Or make that effort to, and really lift it up as high as you can, but make the effort to have the hips be pressing into the mat here. And hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the knee back down. Press that right knee and right thigh into the floor. Keep those right toes engaged and drawing back and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift that seat or that knee up, trying to keep the hips into the mat here. And hold as high as you can go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press that knee down and into the mat. Trying to keep everything else engaged here. Really press everything in. Trying to press the seat and the hips in. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time lifting up, we're going to lift the back knee up as high as you can go. And again, try to make the effort to have the hips go down into the floor. And so you're engaging the glutes and the hamstrings mostly here. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then let the leg go long. Switching sides, we'll bend that left knee. If you need to make any little movements here, if you're cramping up a little bit, go ahead and do that in between sides. We're going to bend that left leg in towards the heel, or sorry, left heel in towards the glute. And we'll start just by trying to kind of balance it out a little bit here and do a slow lift up of the left knee. So start by pressing through the top of the right foot and the right thigh, and then slowly lift that left knee up off the floor, making that effort to keep the hips pressing into the floor here. Then slowly let it back down. And now we'll do the pails and rails of it. So we're going to start by engaging the body, pressing through the tops of the right foot and thigh, and then press the top of the left thigh and knee into the mat, keeping those left toes engaged. Start about a 40% effort, 50, and then hold at 60 for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to lift the left knee up, trying to keep that left hip, that front of the hip bone into the mat here. And once you've gone as high as you can go, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that left knee come back down and then press the top of the left knee and left thigh into the mat. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the left knee up, left thigh up. As far as you can go here, really extending backwards, but trying to keep the hip bones into the mat and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee back down. Last time, pressing the knee into the floor with all of your might here this time, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the left thigh and knee up. Go really as high as you can go. Try to lift it, lift it, lift it. Nice work. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the leg long. Bringing the hands under the shoulders. Press your way up to your knees. And we're going to start just with a little child's pose here. So bring the knees out wide, toes together, arms long in front of you. Just do a little forward fold to help counterbalance that back bend we just did. Rather deep back bend, that is. And then let's make our way up to tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees into the hips. We're going to do some controlled articular rotations of the hips now. So we're going to start by engaging the belly, engaging the rest of the body, and then hover the right knee and right foot off of the ground. And then bring the right knee towards your right elbow. And then splay the right leg out wide so that the shin is parallel to the floor, but you're lifting the foot and the knee up as high as you can, kind of like a dog on a fire hydrant. And then bring the knee behind you and lift the sole of the foot up towards the sky as you do so. And then slowly bring the knee back down to meet the left. And then come back up, bringing the right knee to the right elbow. And then bring the right knee and foot out, dog on fire hydrant. And then bring the knee behind you as you roll the foot up towards the ceiling, bringing the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. And then bring down to meet the left. Switching directions, this time we're going to bring the foot up behind you, sole goes up towards the ceiling, knee goes up, try not to get any arch in the low back. And now bring the knee and the foot out, and the shin goes parallel with the floor. Dog on fire hydrant. Knee to right elbow, and then knee back to meet the left, and then the foot goes up and back as the knee goes up and back. Leg and foot go out, and shin goes parallel with the mat and floor. Knee back to right elbow, nice work. And then bring the right knee back down to the mat, right next to the left. All right, switching sides here, we're gonna engage the belly, hover the left knee off the ground, land foot, and then bring the left knee to the left elbow, and splay that left leg out wide, dog on fire hydrant, and then bring the left knee back behind you as the sole of the foot goes up towards the sky. Left knee comes down to meet the right, and then left knee at left elbow. Leg goes out wide. Shin is parallel to the floor. And then bring the knee behind you, sole of the foot up towards the sky. Keep the belly nice and toned here. And then bring the knee back down to meet the right. And we'll switch directions. So this time the foot goes up behind you, sole of the foot goes up to face the ceiling. Knee goes higher than the hips if you can. And then bring the knee and the foot, knee out and foot down so that the shin is parallel to the floor. Knee comes to the left elbow. And then back to meet your right knee. And then back up behind you. Bring the leg out to the side, shin parallel to the floor. Left knee, left elbow. And then come back to meet the right. And then come back to sitting on your heels. Or actually, let's just come to a comfortable seat. And let's do soles of the feet together here. Grabbing your ankles with your hands. And placing the elbows on the insides of the thighs or the insides of the knees. And try to draw your heels as close into your seat as you can. And take a moment to start pressing your elbows into the insides of the thighs here as you lengthen out your spine. And then start to press the knees down towards the floor as far as you can go. And once you've gone as far as you can go in your passive range of motion, if you need to adjust your hands so that they're kind of more up your shins to help support the legs where they're at, that's fine. We're going to take a moment here. So you can a nice deep inhale in and exhale out. And now some pails and rails from this position. We'll start by keeping our elbows where they're at and start to press your knees or inner thighs into the elbows or forearms. Start at about 50% effort, 60. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep your elbows where they're at and try to pull the knees away from the elbows or make the effort to. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work, everyone. Press the knees into the elbows again. Pressing in, this time 60, 70% effort. Ramping up to 80 and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the knees away from the elbows. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release any pressure into the knees or elbows, and then grab your hands wherever you want to and just kind of hinge and fold over your legs here. Your arms can be long in front if you want as well. Palms in front of the feet. Just kind of getting into this nice and passively now after all that active work. All right. Let's go ahead and come back up and then face the top of your mat. And you're gonna have your left knee or left shin be parallel to the top of the mat and the left knee bent at a 90-degree angle. And then on the right leg here, your right thigh is gonna be parallel to the top of the mat and your left or your right shin is gonna be parallel to the side of the mat. So we're gonna try to do this. If you need to do it with your hands behind your back, you're more than welcome to do that, but let's try to do it with your hands up. And we're gonna do our 90-90 rotations here. So basically we're gonna come to this position, just facing the back side of the mat. So make a fist with your hands here and engage the belly. We're gonna start by lifting the right knee up first, and then lifting the left knee up, and then slowly rolling onto both butt cheeks, rolling onto the right cheek, and bringing the right knee down, and finally the left knee down. Nice job. And then switching directions here, lift the left knee up, right knee comes up, both glutes go onto the mat as the soles of the feet go onto the floor, then rolling off onto the left cheek. Left knee goes down first, followed by your right. Nice job. And then we'll do that a couple more times here. So roll back towards the back of the mat. So lift the right knee up first, left knee up second. Both soles of the feet come onto the floor as both glutes come onto the floor. And then rolling onto the right glute, the right knee comes down first, left knee comes down second. And then make any adjustments you need to. Rolling back the other way, left knee comes up, right knee comes up, both soles of the feet on the ground, roll onto the left cheek, left knee comes down, right knee comes down. Nice job. Let's do it one more time. Let's go ahead and lift that left knee up. Right knee comes up, both soles of the feet come onto the mat. And then roll onto the right cheek towards the back of the mat. Right knee comes down, left knee comes down. And then switching back towards the front, lift the left knee up first. Right knee comes up second. Soles of the feet on the ground, and then roll onto the left cheek. Left knee comes down, right knee comes down. And then relax. Nice job, guys. Let's go ahead and make our way to our backs here. Oh. And then just let your legs go long. Arms down by your side. If you want to make any final little movements here, we're coming into our final resting pose of Shavasana. So if you want to do like a quick little happy baby or something, you're more than welcome to do that. And if you're coming just straight to Shavasana here, just let everything relax. Let your eyes shut. And just breathe and rest. Let's go ahead and bring some small movements back to the body. Wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. And then after you bend one knee at a time, roll off onto your favorite side, pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. And once you've arrived, just take a moment to notice how you feel. Any changes to the body. And take a moment of appreciation for your time spent on the mat. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Thank you all for showing up, sharing your Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday. Tuesday morning with me. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and namaste.
Okay, that was a good one.
Thanks, dudes. Thanks for coming. Nice to have the mobility blast back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.